I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, February the 24th, brought to you in part by Taleve by Norbrook. Unbreaking news to announce here. Taleve delivers the same fast and long-acting broad-spectrum activity you expect from a tulathromycin injection, exclusively in plastic bottles. So no more breaking, guys. I don't know why they don't all do that. But for more information on the unbreakable Taleve, go to Norbrook.com. $2 more. So proud of the negotiated sellers. They grabbed another $2. Thought they might just be asking for the $2 and maybe get one, but it was less of a fight than it's been the last couple of weeks. And the 164 started being paid on Thursday morning. Actually, we had Iowa sell some cattle earlier in the week at 164, and we thought maybe it was just a special deal on some clean, high-quality cattle, and it probably was, but kind of surprised that we were able to get the 164 earlier on Thursday without having to wait till Friday night to get it. But we started seeing your regionals paying 164 fairly early on Thursday, and then pretty soon we saw your majors coming in at 164. And then finally the Southern Plains started getting 164 in a big way, but it was just about the time that they cut off the reporting at 2 o'clock on mandatory price reporting. But that's great to gain an extra $2 there. We're now less than $10 from the all-time high, which was established back in 2014 of 173, and it looks like it could be in our sights here coming up before too awful long. But that was great to see that. You still see your packers wanting to buy cattle 2 and 3 weeks out. Most guys are resisting that. Some guys are caving in. That will be the downfall of this rally if we don't keep making those packers pick those cattle up on immediate delivery. Let them get kind of stocked up, and then we hit a snag with some of these storm cattle that kind of got backed up a little bit, and then we could lose the rally here. But so far so good, gaining money every week. So we're definitely got things going our way. Big storm coming across the northern plains here, middle of the week, and we're seeing the results of it. 850,000 people without power, or 850,000 customers, be more people than that, but big snows. Especially in Wyoming, 40 inches of snow in places in Wyoming. They can use the moisture. A lot of guys that have probably started calving wasn't too tickled to see that 40 inches, but they'll be tickled in the spring whenever it warms up and they get that valuable moisture there. 32 inches and more in places in Montana. We saw a lot of road closures, dangerous road conditions. I-40 way down south, way over in New Mexico towards Arizona, was shut down in some places. Interstate 80 was shut down. A lot more roads as you move to the eastern side. But good prices being paid for all cattle. These calves and yearlings just keep getting higher all the time. And as our grains are starting to weaken just a little bit here, we're seeing a little bit more opportunity, and we're seeing these cattle feeders stretch their orders out and giving higher prices for these cattle. I had to brag on one of my youngest little feeder flash gang members that I met last year at Sedalia at one of my speaking engagements. But he's a Central Missouri feeder flash gang member, Owen Brew. He sold his steers at Windsor Livestock Auction there in Central Missouri on Wednesday. They weighed 617 pounds, bring $226.50. So congratulations to Owen there. Don't forget, we got a cattle on feed report coming out here on Friday. They're scary every time because we got the analysts knowing that things are going in a bullish direction and they don't want to miss it, so they're cranking them down quite a ways. Got the inventory on February the 1st pegged at 96.1. I don't know if that's too aggressive there, but your placements at 97.2 might be pretty aggressive. As I told you on a previous visit, we actually had higher auction receipts during the month of January than we had a year ago, so that doesn't bode too well. And I'm afraid maybe some of the analysts are thinking that we've kept more heifers back than what we have. We haven't kept that many heifers back. Yeah, the market says we should, but guys need the money and they don't have the available feed and especially the forage to hold those heifers back anymore. So you keep seeing guys, you know, that they're selling most all their heifers. And then we start seeing here lately, we're seeing some groups of replacement heifers that guys that thought they could keep, and they just didn't have the feed to keep them, and the market got so good they need the money and they're dumping them. And we've seen that happen quite a bit here, but marketing's pegged at 104. That'll come out here on Friday, 2 o'clock Central, so keep your eye on that. Look at your board on Thursday. February live cattle futures were up a quarter at 165.15. April up a quarter also at 165.32. Your back month's up 10 cents to up 45. March feeder cattle up $1.25 at 189.22. Good gains there, but corn was down a bunch, guys. April up 192 at 193.67. Look at your back months on feeder cattle. They were all up big, up $1 to up 210, and that's what we need for these feeder cattle to continue to spread their wings. Is we need this corn to back off a little bit. It was down. Your March contracts were down 13 3/4 cents on Thursday, settling regular trading at 6.60 1/4. Look off to December, the all-important December corn, and it's at 5.85 1/2, which is still historically high, but not near flirting with the $7 that we've been dealing with here for so long. Your March beans were down 5 1/4 cents at 15.34 1/4. Fat cattle trade, like I said, it was wild. We didn't see all the volume that traded because we really started seeing your majors get active around the midday, and then like I said, your packers turned that information in at 2 o'clock, so we didn't see anything more than that. But I'm sure they swung the gates and moved as many cattle as they wanted to. But your guys in the Northern Plains, you know, how can they do that when they know that those cattle have sucked back so much on their weight due to that big storm? Some of them want rid of them to get them out of the snowy and soon to be muddy pens. Some of them want to keep them a little while to get all that shrink back. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of movement that we have for the week in the Midwest and in the Northern Plains. But Iowa sold 3,800 head confirmed on Thursday, 9,600 head for the week, so they've got a good start on their movement. Live sales from 160 to 164, that's $1 to $3 higher, and dress sales from 258 to mostly 260. Haven't seen that. 260 dress, that's $3 higher, guys. Nebraska sold 2,600 head confirmed, probably a lot more than that. 4,800 head for the week. Live sales all at 164, dress sales all at 260. Kansas 900 head, but like I said, that was early, up through 2 o'clock. I'm sure they sold a lot more than that. Negotiated cash, but live sales all at 164. That's straight up $2 higher in the Southern Plains, guys. Texas also 900 head at 164. Box beef cutout values moderating, but still higher, steady to higher every day, and we don't often see one of your cutout values be absolutely unchanged or steady. But choice cuts were steady Thursday afternoon at 287.91, exactly what they posted on Wednesday afternoon. Select up 223 at 275.87. Your slaughter, started out slow on Monday, President's Day. They didn't slaughter near as many as usual, and it's just been running behind and getting a little bit worse. But your packers are short bought. We've had some bad weather up in the Northern Plains, undoubtedly slowed some of the processing up there, but 478,000 through the first 4 days of the week, 21,000 less than last week, 5,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. If you guys like this report, and I've been telling you guys this, and I'm surprised how many people have signed up for the text flash to get their feeder flash texted to them every morning. Then all they got to do is open up their text messages, hit that button, and there's their feeder flash. They don't have to go hunting for it, and we can do that for you. It doesn't cost anything other than just your text message fees, but everybody texts a lot all the time, so that's not a big deal. But you can text the word flash to 209 Corbett or 209-267-2488. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV auction late in the day on Thursday, sitting at 184.17 based on an 800-pound cash steer, guys. That's 29 cents higher than the end of the trade on Wednesday, so still gaining there. Look at your big high volume sales on Thursday. Winter livestock in Pratt, Kansas sold 3,200 head. Feeder steers are $3 to $5 higher. Feeder heifers, your lighter weight feeding heifers from 500 to 700 pounds were $8 to $10 higher. Heavier weight feeding heifers $1 to $2 higher. I did notice their slaughter cow and bull market was a bunch higher too. Slaughter bulls, the high dressing big heavy muscle bulls, selling up to $1.32 in Pratt, Kansas. Pretty impressive there. How about farmers and ranchers livestock in Salina, Kansas? 3,100 head there. They had a light comparison last week because they didn't have a very big run with storms moving through, but had a pretty good run this week, of course. 3,100 head, and a stick out sale I saw in Salina was 51 steers, weighed 828, bring $184. Your Zoetta stick out sale of the day was Ogallala Livestock Auction in Ogallala, Nebraska. They've had a lot of weather there, guys, but 4,600 head at the sale, and it was just straight up, sharply higher, mostly ranging from $3 to $12 higher on all classes, all weights. Look at this automated market report through Cattle Market Central. See your best tested weights, and they were well tested throughout. 483 head of your 5-weight steer calves, average 557. Weighted average price on all of them was $232.80. Wow. 948 head of 6-weight steer calves, average 659. Weighted average price $206.92. 532 head of your 8-weight steers in Ogallala averaged $835 with a weighted average price of $185.67. Heifers, 479 head of your 5-weight heifer calves averaged $547. Weighted average price $213.19 on 5-weight heifer calves, guys. 667 head of 6-weight heifers. They're not keeping many heifers back around there. Average weight on your 6-weight heifers was 644, average price $190.42, and 459 head of 7-weight heifers average $753 with a weighted average price of $177.58. Give you a few individual quotes. How about Burlington Livestock Exchange in Burlington, Colorado? 119 steers weighed 563 at $2.50 a pound. Had a top quote out of Ogallala Livestock Auction. They were our Zoetta stick out sale, but they sold 90 head, one consignment, 606 pound steers, bring $235. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday, your Mackerson No BS top quote for the day, come out of Winter Livestock in Pratt, Kansas. Thin flesh steers, 60 head of them, weighed 818 pounds at $195.10. That's your feeder flash for Friday.